Hello and welcome to today's webinar hosted by Ledgeview Partners. For those that have attended our past webinars, I want to say welcome back. And for all of you newcomers, it's nice to virtually meet you. Thank you all for giving us your time today to learn about today's topic, driving growth with marketing automation. My name is Julia Flaherty and I am the marketing coordinator at Ledgeview Partners. We are a business and technology firm that collaborates with organizations to transform sales, marketing, and customer service operations and processes that are supported by core technologies, including customer relationship management, CRM, and marketing automation. Before I introduce today's presenter, I just have a few quick housekeeping items to cover. Today's webinar is being recorded and will be available on demand after the live session. All attendees will receive a follow-up email after the webinar is complete with a link to access the presentation. We encourage you to share this among your colleagues and in your professional networks. To ensure best audio quality, as always, we have everyone on listen-only mode. However, if you do have a question or comment, please submit those in the question pane you will find on your GoToWebinar control panel. And now that those items are out of the way, it's time to focus on today's fan favorite topic, driving growth with marketing automation. Between your sales and marketing teams, we know how important alignment is for achieving organizational success, especially when it comes to lead generation and effectively using your marketing automation system to expand your business, enable client retention, and increase ROI, among other benefits that will be covered in this webinar. Today's presenter, Chad Collette, Director of Marketing at Ledgeview Partners, comes with an amazing knowledge, insight, background, and passion for this topic. Chad is a marketing guru, tea drinker, runner, and all-star dad driven by customer and client success. On a daily basis, Chad covers a slew of things from content creation management to nurture campaigns to marketing automation lists to interdepartmental collaborations and more. And now that you know a little bit more about our speaker, it's time to welcome him and hand the webinar over.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Julia. I appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for joining us for the next 25 minutes to talk about how marketing automation can help drive growth within your organization. I see we have several customers and prior Ledgeview webinar attendees with us today, so I want to say welcome back. And there's a few things that I get really excited about. The start of a new sports season, and being from Wisconsin, we love our sports teams here. Go Pack Go. I also really look forward to running half and full marathons, as Julie mentioned. And although most people just call me crazy, but every day I get excited about marketing and how solutions like CRM and marketing automation have transformed how marketers can succeed today. And if it wasn't for marketing automation, I probably wouldn't have time to get ready for more than a 5K charity walk. But enough about me. I know the time is a precious investment for all of us, so let's get to it. So what are we going to cover today? Well, we're going to start off by addressing the cost of misalignment of sales and marketing. Marketing automation is an important strategic tool that can create efficiencies in your alignment efforts. But what is marketing automation? We'll examine the key components of marketing automation and the value it provides to organizations in guiding your target buyers in the customer journey and experience you want them to have. In some cases, organizations feel it's good enough just to have a marketing automation solution, but they don't spend the time necessary to create a strategy how to effectively use it. Today, we'll examine some strategies for growth and hone in on how to use the functionality like lead scoring and nurturing that'll bring it all together. Finally, we'll wrap up with some additional resources that you really should know that are available. Let's jump into it. Do these graphics look familiar at all? Where sales and marketing can't seem to collaborate on the end results they're trying to achieve? Now, the technology is one aspect, but true collaboration and well thought out processes for alignment is another. Now, it seems at times that sales and marketing are not coworkers, but meeting each other for the first time. Yet, according to a study from Acton, marketing automation provider, almost 3 out of 4 organizations report some degree of alignment, but only 17% describe themselves as completely aligned. Where do you fall in that spectrum? Now, studies show failure to align sales and marketing teams around the right processes and technologies cost B2B companies 10% or more of revenue per year. How about that 50% of sales time is wasted on unproductive prospecting, and that sales reps ignore 50% of marketing leads? You know, it's that age-old debate between marketing and sales. Marketing feels that they're providing quality leads, but sales feels totally different. Can you see the disconnect here, or are you one of those experiencing one of those factors? Let's shift our focus to what brings marketing and sales together that can really drive that revenue growth. And it starts with defining what marketing automation is and what it's designed to do. Now, just so we're all on the same page, I want to talk for a minute about marketing automation. And I know sometimes it can seem like a vague concept and often gets lumped into the bucket of email marketing. Well, marketing automation is so much more than just sending emails. I mean, at its core, it's simply technology that helps streamline, automate, and measure marketing activities across your channels. And said another way, it's the engine that can ensure the right message gets to the right person at the right time. Now, you may be familiar with some marketing automation solutions on the market like Act-On or ClickDimensions, HubSpot, Marketo, and many others. In fact, there's hundreds of solutions you can pick from. A good marketing automation solution will provide not only email marketing, but things like web tracking, lead scoring, nurture or drip marketing, campaign tracking, forms, surveys, landing pages, and so much more. And now that we've described what marketing automation is, the ultimate goal of any marketing activity is to increase conversions defined by some key metrics that are determined by your company leaders. Now, whether it's a B2C purchase, B2B relationship, or engagement with customers, your goals should really be simple and straightforward. Here are kind of 6 simple goals of marketing automation that you can incorporate when you get started. So you got to start somewhere. Defining and segmenting your target audience and gaining that audience's attention. Identify who's actively engaged with you via your emails, your website, social media, and the other channels you're using. Nurture that engagement into a conversation, all while tracking and measuring the conversion metrics. And finally, leveraging relationships to create long-term customers and, more importantly, growth. Now, to put all these goals into perspective, the real value in marketing automation is the visibility and insight it provides into the behaviors of your targeted audience to drive revenue. Here's a few relevant statistics for your marketing automation plan. I won't go through them all, but I really want to highlight number 3. It's really my favorite. 80% of marketing automation users saw an increase in the number of leads, and 77% had an increase of conversions. That really speaks highly to the power of marketing automation and how it helps you meet and really exceed your goals. They're just some powerful numbers to consider and include. Let's take a look at some strategies that marketers can use for their growth with their marketing automation solution. First, it's about understanding your audience. Now, some of you may already have your target audience well mapped out and understood. In the context of most marketing automation solutions, they'll ask you to specifically create buyer personas. Now ask yourself, who are our target prospects or leads? What industry are they or we in? And it's not always the same. Is there a specific product we're marketing? Is it a suite of products, a service? What do we know about the individuals that make the purchase decisions regarding our offerings? You know, are they a C-level executive? Are they a coordinator? Are they a manager? Think about the different roles these titles might play in making that purchase decision. Now, there's often one person who gets to make the final call, but there are also influencers and end users whose voices are very important to many leaders when they make a final decision on a new product or service. Think about how someone's job title might correspond to their role in the decision-making process. You should really start to outline these roles, which titles correspond to which role, and think about other information you may have on your prospects and leads that will help you group them together. Now, in addition to profile information, it's a good idea to outline the main goals and objectives these individuals have. Now, these can be goals that address professional development, saving money for their company, streamlining their day-to-day activities, and so on. goals are going to be important as you create your marketing strategy, because understanding the goals of your leads and prospects and customers will help you develop the right information to deliver it at the right time, and of course in the right place to nurture your leads and prospects towards a decision. Now we'll leverage these definitions later as we talk about nurture strategies. Okay, so we have a marketing automation solution, but what do we do with it? We're going to start thinking about funnels. We can really summarize this process into three main components. There's awareness, interest, and consideration. And moving forward, we can refer to these as really the top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. All terms that you're likely very familiar with. We want to outline what problems and pain points our prospects have when they start to become aware of our products and services. We want to know what solutions they need as a result of those problems and those pain points. Now, this is where a lot of organizations and teams rush in and they overload their prospects with product information. Take a step back as you build this stage. Think about educating your customers and prospects. Provide content like ebooks, white papers, checklists, infographics, case study reviews, webinars, and possibly in-person educational seminars. Finally, take the opportunity to directly leverage product information in the consideration stage. Show them what it's like to work with you. Provide data sheets, trial opportunities, pricing, and anything else they need they feel to really make an informed, educated decision. Now, the main goals of marketing are to increase brand awareness and to increase the number of sales-ready leads, often and really preferably at a lower and lower cost per lead. Now let's assume for now we're especially focused on lead delivery and conversion. We can use a traditional funnel model to demonstrate. Problems or business challenges create a need to find a solution. I mean, what's the first thing you do when you're looking for an answer to something? Do you Google it? I know I do. An internet search is where most of your prospects and leads today are going to start when they've decided they even need to learn about potential solutions, but maybe they're not necessarily ready to buy yet. Are you easy to locate online? Is the information that they're seeking easy to find, but more importantly, easy to digest? Are they attracted by your marketing? Well, immediately we want to ask ourselves, what are we doing to attract and capture these prospects? Is there a process in place? If the answer is no, you're more likely to lose those leads and prospects to poor nurturing. They'll leave the funnel on their own, potentially for a competitor, or simply because they can't find the information they need to feel confident in making a decision. What if we have a solid process in place for attracting and capturing those prospects? When do we hand that off to sales? We want to hand off to sales when we know that prospect has everything they need to move forward with making that purchase decision. If they don't, is sales empowered to answer any questions they might have? Does sales need to be involved earlier, but in a more controlled manner? We don't want to push to sales too early and turn our prospects and leads off, but we also don't want to wait too long in case a competitor swoops in and beats us. So how do we move forward, knowing that these are two really of our biggest hurdles? Well, the first is tracking. As soon as you have what's referred to as a tracking beacon from your marketing automation solution on your web and landing pages, your marketing automation tool is listening for page visits and reporting those to you and your team. Your goal with all the visitors is always to convert them from an anonymous state to known visitors by getting them to click on an email or complete an online form. It's amazing, at any given moment, 97% of your website visitors are invisible. And since only about 3% ever really identify themselves, it can put a serious crimp on sales' ability to strike when the iron is hot. Now, these known prospects or leads are the individuals we can more effectively market to because we have information like job title, geographic location, and we know which pages they've shown interest in thanks to our tracking. Tracking corresponds with the attract and top of the funnel buying stage. These correspond with goals such as increasing page visits, getting our known conversions, increasing visitors by source such as social and by search term, maybe from specific AdWords or remarketing campaigns. Now that we're really filling our funnel with known visitors and our behavioral bucket with all these facts about our leads and prospects, how does marketing automation help us leverage it? It's lead scoring. And let me tell you about lead scoring. It's awesome. I mean, did a prospect, a lead, or a current customer open an email? Or did they click on a link? Did they complete a form or sign up for your webinar? All these activities can generate a score, which ultimately will lead them down the funnel. One key takeaway here is for sales and marketing to work together to develop that lead scoring, and for both to really understand the lead scoring to ensure alignment between your teams. Now, once you've got your lead scoring rules in place, we're going to use those to define our funnel stages. Remember the 3-stage funnel? Each of those stages is going to align with a score range. This enables you to very quickly gauge where your leads and prospects are in the buying process based on their level of engagement with you. The more engaged they are, the closer they are to making that purchasing decision. Now, for collecting data, forms, as I mentioned, are a marketer's best friend. A great way to capture data and generate new leads with all the great content that you're building. Now, we've all completed these online forms. In fact, everyone in this webinar completed one to attend the webinar. It's a great way to learn more about your leads, your prospects, and even your current customers. But be cautious what to gate and when. With marketing automation, you can even put an expiration on your forms so that as your content becomes dated, it can also become free and open. Ensure that all your forms are mobile ready or responsive in design. You know, buyers today are consuming information not only at their office, but everywhere. It's become a way of life to be on your phone when you have a few minutes. You know, whether you're commuting to work, waiting in line for your morning coffee, or even killing time at the doctor's office, our mobile devices are our best friends, and it's critical your forms suit that need. Now, your forms can be created in the marketing automation solution, but also many solutions allow you to use what's called a form capture feature. Now, if you're already using forms on your current website, you don't need to recreate the wheel if these external forms are doing the job for you. You can simply link those forms to your marketing automation. And if you're doing events or webinars, ensure that your marketing automation solution has integration capabilities with those tools, like GoToWebinar, WebEx, On24, Eventbrite, etc. It will make life so much easier for you, and it's also super exciting. I mean, well, us marketers get excited about that stuff. But as marketers, we're also very greedy about information just by nature. We want to know everything about our leads, our prospects, and our customers, and we want to know it right now. That's why you may run into an online form that kind of makes you feel like you're completing your tax returns. They're just so long, and that's where you get a lot of abandonment. This is where progressive profiling becomes an amazing asset in your marketing toolbox. And yeah, you also have to have a bit of patience to use it, but progressive profiling serves up different form fields to your contacts and your leads and your prospects based on what you already know about them. Perhaps you already know their job title and phone number, but not their industry or their company size. Now, this is all done through dynamic forms that present questions incrementally over time as they're digesting your content. And together with that patience that I mentioned, it really provides a wealth of information in small chunks to help you continually refine your messaging and ensure that your buyer's journey is as targeted and personalized as it can be. Now, using forms in marketing automation, you can also create immediate, automated, and time-saving actions, like sending an automated email response, like an event confirmation, or they fill out a contact form and they'll be hearing back from you. Perhaps it's adding a new lead to marketing automation, or updating old or missing information, adding them or removing them to a marketing list or a nurture program, and notifying the account or record owner of their activity, and assigning new leads like you see here with an email notification where we completed a gated ebook form or a contact us page. Now that we know how to identify our leads and prospects and make them known, it's time to get started marketing them. And this takes us into our nurture stage. We'll start by creating groups or segments of leads and prospects by score or funnel stage. This offers us an overview of how many of our leads and prospects are in each stage. It also lays the foundation for us to start nurturing those leads and prospects with the content that they're most likely to deem valuable and relevant. These segments will feed our nurture programs, consisting of one or more messages built to deliver the information that we know these leads and prospects want and need to move them to the next stage of their journey. Remember, our goal is to plug those leaks in the side of the funnel and to increase the quality of the leads that ultimately will deliver to sales. Of course, lead scoring isn't the only type of segment that you should consider. You should also consider complementing your strategy with persona, industry, and specific product segments. As you refine your marketing strategy, these more granular types of segments will come in handy to feed your evolving automated nurture marketing campaigns. In your nurture programs, list segmentation is kind of the secret sauce that makes your email messages personal and relevant. You can boost engagement and increase conversion by targeting specific behaviors as well. Did they attend a webinar or visit a specific landing page? Were they on your website in the last 24 hours? Have you ever gotten that call or an email right after you visited someone's webpage and thought, wow, I was just thinking about you? It's not really a coincidence. That's marketing automation, so you won't be surprised any longer. As I said early on, marketing automation is more than email marketing, but it doesn't mean it excludes it. Quite the contrary, it really enhances it. You have your forms, your lead scoring, your segmented list, and now you can unleash the power of email marketing. Email is the third most influential source of information for B2B audiences, behind only colleague recommendations and industry-specific thought leaders. With the rise of social media, some say that email is on its way out, but rest assured, email marketing is here to stay. I mean, how do we know this? Tracking and testing, as you can see from these email statistics, like people who buy products marketed through email spend 138% more than people that do not receive email offers. Now, while the delivery channel for lead nurturing program is primarily email-based, it's important to remember that lead nurturing is much more than just email communication. It can involve other non-email touches like direct or dimensional mail, SMS, phone calls, social interactions, and others. When it comes to lead nurturing, rather than a random and independent email sent out to a marketing list when the time kind of feels right or it's convenient, a lead nurturing campaign is a series of communication with the intent of moving someone to another point in that sales stage, down that funnel, to encourage them to complete an action. When building your lead nurturing campaigns, each step should have a clear and a concise goal, a call to action, or a conversion point in mind. So what results can lead nurturing produce? How about that lead nurturing emails get 4 to 10 times the response rate compared to just standalone email blasts? And that businesses that use marketing automation to nurture prospects experience a whopping 451% increase in qualified leads. And nurtured leads make 47% larger purchases than those leads that are not nurtured to. Now, depending on the marketing automation tool you're using, the technology to create the nurture campaigns may be slightly different, but the overall concepts are the same. You're developing a series of actions and communications based on behaviors. For example, if someone submits a form, perhaps from a gated piece of content like an ebook or on-demand webinar, that could be a trigger to add that lead or prospect to your nurture program or a specific marketing list. Once a person is entered into a nurture program, we would then establish the targeted communications that should be sent to that lead or prospect. Nurturing programs typically have time delays, like waiting a couple days or a couple weeks, depending on their actions, so you can control the timing of not only the start, but the end automatically. Okay, so of course you've decided that lead nurturing is a good idea, but how do you get started? Well, first, you want to continue to improve alignment. Discuss lead nurturing with your marketing and sales team to ensure that everyone's on the same page. Identify an initial target group and campaign to set your campaign goals. Don't try to go to a broad range right away. Begin with a small sample segment of your database and map out your lead nurture process for the identified target. Now keep in mind it's more than just creating an email template, which you should also A/B test, by the way, but mapping out your customer's journey based on the actions they take, and of course measure the effectiveness and expand on the successes that you see. Here's a few examples of lead nurturing goals that you may want to set for each campaign you're executing. Now, if you're brand new to this, yes, it could be difficult to kind of put some initial goal estimates together, but it's a good place to start, and you can and should always adjust as you go. You may want to look at number of marketing qualified leads generated. Look at your click rates or your lead to opportunity conversion rates. As you're seeing, it's important to remember that lead nurturing is a jointed process by which sales and marketing are working together with the ultimate goal of customer conversions and sales growth. A study by CSO Insights revealed that 89% of companies have an aligned sales and marketing lead generation efforts, reported measurable increases as a result of continuous nurturing. Now, remember that first slide where we talked about sales and marketing and how they seem to be meeting for the first time? How does this look? I think it looks much better. And hey, who doesn't love a high five, right? When sales and marketing teams are in sync, companies became 67% better at closing deals, and companies that aligned sales and marketing generated 208% more revenue from marketing. Now, right there, that's a great reason for a high five. Well, I hope that with today's information, you have a better understanding of how to drive growth with marketing automation. Whether you have an automated solution in place now, or you're not fully utilizing its functionality, or you're searching for a new solution, I want to encourage you to take advantage of the plethora of resources that companies provide on the web. Marketing automation solution providers like ClickDimensions, Acton, HubSpot, Marketo, pretty much all of them offer a wide array of content like on-demand webinars and demos, ebooks, data sheets, and so much more. They're bringing you down their funnels. On our Ledgeview Partners website, we also have a full load of resources for everyone across sales, marketing, customer service, CRM, marketing automation, and beyond. Now, we've always had videos and on-demand webinars, but now we have a library full of a dozen ebooks, 15 infographics, and so much more. These are insightful resources that can be a real asset, so I highly encourage you to check them out, and you can find them at ledgeviewpartners.com. Finally, for those you may not realize, Ledgeview Partners offers much more than CRM solutions and services. It includes a wide range of business services focused on sales, customer service, and marketing. Now, if everything we covered today on marketing just seems a really bit overwhelming, or you simply don't have the internal resources available, Ledgeview offers marketing technology strategy and planning, analysis services, marketing automation, implementation, and integration with your CRM, as well as ongoing technology training and support. Well, that's all I have for today. I've talked a lot, and I really appreciate you taking the time to open up your emails, sign up for this webinar, and hopefully you learned a thing or two about how marketing automation can really help your business and drive growth. I hope we can connect soon about any of your marketing challenges. I'm always up for a conversation. Here's my contact information again. Please feel free to drop me an email, give me a call, connect with me on LinkedIn, or follow some of my ramblings on Twitter. And yes, all views are my own. But with that, I want to thank you for joining us today. And Julie, I'm going to swing it back to you.
All right. Thank you for that amazing presentation, Chad. What valuable information. I hope that sets all of you who tuned in today on the path to creating sales and marketing alignment among all of the other benefits presented today through your marketing automation system. Whatever your goal, whatever your path, Ledgeview helps you every step of the way. We hope you join us for our next webinar, and as always, this webinar will be available for viewing on demand later today, so be sure to check your inboxes. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you again soon.